Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keegan. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to something different on the channel. Something new on the channel. So if you have sort of seen videos in the past, I probably have talked about my enjoyment for the card game Magic the Gathering. So what I was going to do is I'm going to put together maybe a few videos of Magic the Gathering content and see how it goes, and if I'm enjoying it and if people out there seem to be enjoying it, I'm going to keep going with it. So today I thought I would start with something from Magic that I really do enjoy. Probably my favourite thing about Magic, and that is drafting. Now, a bit of my history, probably drafting is probably the one thing that I really do enjoy out of over anything else. Like, I do have a couple of modern decks. I've got a standard deck. I've even got a commander deck. But I've always thought that drafting was always my favourite way to play Magic, and you guys out there might have different ways. You might enjoy standard, you might enjoy modern, you might enjoy vintage, you might enjoy legacy, you might enjoy commander. There's so many different ways to play Magic, but this is my favourite way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video of me drafting the series this week on Magic Arena, which I think, if I was going, because I'm only going to do a quick draft, is Dominaria. So it's a really good draft set. The new set, M19, comes out in a few weeks, so there might be less and less chances to draft Dominaria, even though I really do enjoy the Dominaria format. So I'm going to draft it, and then that's going to be one video, and then on the second video, I'm going to play with my deck. So maybe after the draft, you can let me know in the comments below maybe some cards I should look to include, or some cards you think that I might not include that I've drafted, and you might give me some deck building tips. The chances are probably by the time you see this, I probably have already also played the games, because I'm going to upload them two separately. I probably played the games, but do let me know if there are cards you think I missed when I was drafting, and give me some advice about maybe some cards that I probably should have gone for instead. Now, let's get into it. So I always find when I do Dominaria, when I do drafting in general on Magic Arena, I always find myself rare drafting and looking at the rares and trying to take them. So I'm going to try and be a bit more think about it, as opposed to going rare, draft the rare, because any rares you draft in draft on Arena go straight into your card library. So, having a look automatically now, I would probably automatically go for Squee, but I think if I'm looking around here and trying to be very impartial to it, not trying to just draft the rare, I actually think Knight of Malice is a solid pick. It's a first strike, hexproof from white. It's 2/2 for 2. It's a pretty solid card, and he does not really a lot. I can get a bit of removal, perhaps. Maybe removal might be the way to go. Maybe it is Gideon's Reproach. And then that puts us in white. Dark Bargain. It's a little bit of draw. There's a bit of fixing. There's saplings. That's a solid card. So it's a bit tricky. What I might do is I might go for. I think I might go Gideon's Reproach just because it is removal, and removal is something that is very important. Not to say I probably should go. It's either between these two. Squee is not very useful, so it might be Knight of Malice or Gideon's Reproach. But I think we have to go with the removal. I think we have to go with Gideon's Reproach. Okay. So I've got another Gideon's Reproach. I could do double Gideon's Reproach pretty much off the top. Let's have a look, see what else there is. Skizzix, handy card. Golden Barrage, charge, not really. There's not really anything too interesting. There's a flyer. There's a 3/2 flyer for 5. Gain 3 life. There's some more removal down here. I reckon actually Fire Intervention's pretty good. Bit of removal, but it can also destroy an artifact if I need. And then I've got another Gideon's Reproach. So I think cheap removal is the way to go. I think I might have to go the second Gideon's Reproach. Alright, so here we go. I think looking straight off the top, call the Cavalry. Cavalry is a handy card. Creates 2/2 white knight tokens with vigilance. So I think this is the way to go here. Board the Wellight's also pretty handy. It's draw in white, or it's fix. It gives you a card in white, which you don't see a lot of draw effects. Grun the Lonely King's also a handy card, but I think Grun's a bit of a interesting because he's a bit of a bomb. He can be if I kick him all the way to, what is he? Kicked at 9. He'd be 9 mana and doubles his attack power and toughness. Not sure. Sapling Migration is nice. Pierce the Sky, Run Amok. I think Call the Cavalry is probably the best pick here. It keeps us in white too, so it keeps us open to other colours as we get further on down the line. Grun, I would think Grun, but the double green casting cost can be a bit of an issue. Let's go Call the Cavalry. Alright. Having a look at this. Fungal Infection, looking at that right now, isn't easy. To be fair, it was a pretty simple pick, I think, as far as removal goes. Thallid Omnivore is an absolute bomb in Sealed, though. It's just such a good creature, and it can be good at screwing with maths as far as battle maths. So I think I might be going with Thallid Omnivore. Other choices might be Blink of an Eye, decent removal. Fungal Infection's also good removal. So I think I might go to Thallid Omnivore. I think I need to start putting some creatures out there. So let's go with that. Again, so black and white at the moment, but I'm not too stuck on those two. I can pivot if I need. Grow from the Ashes is interesting if I wanted to go ramp and I wanted to go somewhere in green possibly, which could be good. I could also just go 3 colours, but Stonewall Confessor is just a good early card if I need that, but I feel like I'll pick those up later on. I don't feel like they're going to be taken anywhere. Grow from the Ashes is interesting. Banalish Honor Guard, again, not something that I'm desperate for. Skin Witch can force my opponent to discard 2 cards. It is a 1/3. It's a solid pick, but I think I want Grow from the Ashes. If ramp is a solid pick. Greens looks kind of open as well. Let's go Grow from the Ashes. There's a lot of Sorcerer's ones going around. Here, not too. There's nothing really grabbing me here. 1/3 for 2's okay. Invoke the Divine's an ideal. Is kind of could be the sideboard. There's no sideboard, but could be a thought maybe. I think I might go the Voltic Servant just because it's a creature. It's a 2-drop. Will I have a lot of artifacts in this? Probably not. But I'm trying to think what else there could be. I think let's go the Voltic Servant. Let's go that. We'll see. Lingering Phantom. Not really too amazed. It's a 5/4. That's a 6-drop. Memorial for Unity is a handy land to get if I'm looking for creatures. Adamant Will, decent trick, combat trick. Divest, handy early first up. I can force a discard, do a bit of control, hand control. Broken Bond, a bit of ramp there as well if I wanted to go Broken Bond. I feel like I should go Divest maybe, or Memorial to Unity. Or it's Broken Bond, Divest, or Memorial to Unity. So I think I might go the Divest. I think early game's handy. Broken Bond I feel like could come back, or I could see it in the next 3 packs. It's not an amazing card, but I think let's go Divest anyway. Alright, so red here is absolutely huge, but Mammoth Spider, from drafting this set before, is a very, very handy creature to have. It's a 3/5 that has reach for 5 is pretty solid. And yeah, and there's a lot of red here. Don't think, unless I see something absolutely amazing around, I don't think I'm really going to be pulled to red too much. So let's go Mammoth Spider. Okay, this is back to my first pack that I took. So Corrosive Ooze. Dark Bargain, draw, could be handy. Final Parting, I can search my library for 2 cards, put one into my hand, one into my graveyard. Double black costing's a bit, don't know how I feel about that, but Dark Bargain could be a handy card. It's an instant. I get to put 2 cards into my hand. It is card draw without saying draw cards, so I think I'm going to go Dark Bargain. Let's go Dark Bargain. Okay, Guy's Protector, it could be okay. Windgrace Acolyte. I start need to sort of putting together sort of low cost creatures, but for one more, I think the flying might be better. It's a one more cost, flies. I think we might go this over Guy's Protector. Gets us 3 life as well. Let's go Windgrace Acolyte, because why not? Alright, Board the Weatherlight's still here, and I think that might be my pick, because Historic's the only thing that... What cards do I have that are historic at the moment? I have not got any historic creature. I've got one. Voltic Servant would be considered historic. So am I really desperate to take a historic card? Probably not. Instant. It's okay. I might go Board the Weatherlight on the off chance that I do get a few more historic cards. But if I don't, these sort of cards will be around as I draft, as I get to the second pack and further on. Llanowar Scout or Tragic Poet. 1/3, that's a 3-drop. It's a handy card to have. Tragic Poet's a 1-drop. Enchantment. I don't have any enchantments at the moment, so I reckon we go Llanowar Scout to possibly be able to ramp ourselves. So we'll do that. Doesn't really matter. Take that and go. So we'll drop this out. Probably drop. No, we'll keep that at the moment because I can still use it. All right. Having a look at this. So, Forebear's Blade, handy card. It's an equipment. It goes on anything I want. Bed is also a very handy card. Again, Macy Unicorn is great. Another Thallid Omnivore is a good card to pick. Gift of Growth is a good combat trick as well. So, I'm feeling one of these two. I do have a penchant for white. The deck I used for my store championships over the weekend is a mono white deck, so I feel like I would really like Baird, but Forebear's Blade is just a handy card to have. So what do I pick? I think I pick Forebear's Blade just because the double white for Baird is annoying. It has Vigilance to 2/4 for 4, but I think, and this would also allow us to play Board the Weatherlight, as would Baird, mind you. Let's go Forebear's Blade, because it does have a lot more things. Macy Unicorn, hopefully might be able to pick a few of these up as we get along, because that's a very handy card as well. And Pegasus Corsair is also nice as well. But let's go Forebear's Blade. Alright, here we go. So, Urza's Ruinous Blast is a big card to pick up. It's 4 and a white, exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. So, it's a really good card. The thing with it's a legendary sorcery, that means I need a Planeswalker or a legendary creature with it to cast, and at the moment, I've not got any legendary creatures, so I'm feeling like Urza's Ruinous Blast is not the right pick. Triumph of Gerard is a really good card, but at this point in time, I need creatures. Like, I've got a lot of high-end creatures. My low-end creatures, I don't really have any low-end creatures at the moment. Llanowar Scout is my lowest low-end creature, and Voltic Servant. So, I don't know. Macy Unicorn's a nice pickup. Academy Drake if I was sort of blue, but I think I'm that far in. Deathbloom Thallid is also a nice card. I think we go the Macy Unicorn though, because I do need a few earlier drop. Or do I go the Triumph of Gerard? Because I feel like I'll see more Macy Unicorns as well. Let's go the Triumph of Gerard. Because it is a saga, which makes it a historic spell as well. Alright. Sea Chain Commander. Jeez, that's still there. Slimefoot Stowaway. That is a card I could definitely use because I'm in black and green, and I've got a bit of both. Adamant Will's okay. Dub's okay. Stronghold Confessor's okay. Sapling Migration is okay. More ramp, possibly. But I think I might go Slimefoot Stowaway. It gives us a chance to use all our mana color. It's a legendary. Sapling Migration would also be handy here, but I think we're going with Slimefoot. I think that's the one we're going to go with. Yeah, let's go Slime. Nothing here amazingly. Call the Cavalry again is a pretty handy card. Fungal Infection's a good removal. Deathbloom Thallid is nice as well. I think I might go Call the Cavalry. I just think it's that good of a card. Summon, for 4 mana, summon 2/2 White Knights with Vigilance. Like, I can't really go past that. Deathbloom Thallid's also a handy card as well. But I'm going to go Call the Cavalry. Alright, here we go. So this is where I think I might pick up my Macy Unicorn, because I think that that's a nice card. To get lifelink for 2/2 on a 2/2 body is nice. Sacred Spirit, playing that, I remember playing that all the way back in the pre-release event. I actually used Sacred Spirit a fair bit and actually got me out of a fair few jams in that, but I don't think here in draft it's as good. Guy's Protector I could also pick up, and I could get another Acolyte, or I could even go Soul Salvage 2 target creatures back into my hand, but I think we're going to go with Macy Unicorn. Alright. Not anything that's amazing here. Nothing that really fits. Knight of New Benalia is pretty average. The one toughness is really annoying. You can swing, can be a pretty big swing. The wall is just a wall. Artifacts, return to hand, not too bothered. Opt. I think I might go the Glider just because I can use it. I don't know if I will end up using it, but for a 3, it's another historic card for Board the Weatherlight if I need to pick it up. At the moment, it could be a 23rd card, but at the moment, I'm pretty happy that we'll pick it anyway. Alright, here's the Broken Bond we were talking about before if I wanted it. Final Parting, Healing Grace, Tragic Poet. I haven't really got... The enchantments I've only really got Triumph of Gerard at the moment, so I'm not sure. Maybe it is the Broken Bond. A bit of ramp. Wait and see. Let's go Broken Bond, because I don't really rate Tragic Poet all that highly. But let's go Broken Bond. Okay. Sparring Construct. It's a 1/1 for 1. It's a historic card. Nothing really else that's really grabbing me. Another Voltic Servant maybe, but I think Sparring Construct is the way to go. Let's go with that. Looking at this, Cabal of Angel, it's a 2/2 for 2. I've got those in Macy Unicorn that's even got lifelink. Guardians of Koilos is interesting. I may return another historic permanent you control. So I might return, like, I don't know what I would want to return though, maybe. It's interesting. Maybe even like something like Triumph of Gerard if I wanted to return that. But I think we go this on the off chance I might be able to pull something else up. But yeah, maybe that just on the off chance I need it. Otherwise, Evoke the Divine's a handy card, possibly. Target enchantments, artifacts or enchantments. Let's go Kate for Guardians of Koilos. Alright. Another Broken Bond. No, I can get another Guardians of Koilos. I can have 2. And just loop them through and just keep looping them. Aven Sentry is handy. Flying for 4. Just flies are handy. Do I just go another Guardians of Koilos? Possibly. And just keep rotating. And I can keep, with the Voltic Servant, I can keep untapping them as well. But Aven Sentry, it's a 3/2 fly for 4 mana, it's just a handy card. Let's go the Sentry. We can go to another Voltic Servant maybe. Dub's an interesting enchantment possibly. Llanowar Envoy, I'm not really interested in that. It's probably one between these two. Am I even going to play my first Voltic Servant? I'm not sure. Let's go Dub. Handy card. Gives it +2/+2 and First Strike. Could be handy. I reckon here. Decent combat trick, I suppose. Invoke the Divine, though. No one wants Memorial to War. Let's go Invoke the Divine. Oh, okay. Let's go Guy's Protector. I probably won't use it. Yeah. Alright. Last thing. Jaya Ballard. Now, so we're not going to use Herb or Vandal. And at this point, I should probably go through and sort of take cards out I don't think I'll use. So if I look through now, I'm probably not using Blessing of Bells and Mock. I'm probably not using Voltic Servant. doesn't really interest me too much. Aether Glide doesn't really interest me too much either. It's a 2-1 for 1. It's pretty easily disposed of. What else doesn't really interest me? Probably not Gaia's Protector either. Even Windgrace Acolyte I'm not huge on. Probably Gabe the Course I'm probably not interested. I'd probably go back and sort it out later. But at the moment, alright, so I'm going to get this. It's not great. I also got that in my pre-release pull and it was absolutely awful. So, not too bothered. This is fixing. Could be handy, especially if I do end up in 3 colours. Adamant Will. Time of Ice is a good card, but I don't think I can splash for it. You know what? It could end up being the Skittering Surveyor just for the fixing. Just for the fixing. Quenday's interesting. Double Strike and creatures with First Strike, but I don't really have any other First Strike creatures outside of Dub, which would give something First Strike. There's nothing really else that's really interesting me. The Druid's okay. That's a decent combat trick. It's between Quenday and the Skittering Surveyor, and I think I'm going to go the Surveyor just because I need the fixing. It's an awful first pick, but this pack really isn't doing much for me. Maybe the Feral Abomination. Like, so I've got a bit of a high end. Like, it's a 6. It's a 5/5 for 6 with Death Touch, which is handy. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's where I want to be. It'll be there still, like, it's not going anywhere. Maybe we go Skittering Surveyor just because I probably do need the fixing with 3 colours, if that's the way we're going. Let's go Skittering Surveyor. Alright. Pegasus Corsair's handy. Another Mammoth Spider would be pretty good. Eldest Reborn is an interesting card. I haven't got a lot of real big creatures that I probably want to work towards, but Eldest Reborn is something that I can maybe use other people's creatures as well. I think Eldest Reborn's a pretty good card to think. It's card removal. Even though they sacrifice it, they discard their hand a little bit. Mammoth Spider's also very good, but we're going to go Eldest Reborn, I think. It's a bit more interesting as well. Let's do that. Okay. Straight up removal, Eviscerate, really. Like, it's such a good card. Eviscerate. Do we just go it? Because it's removal. It's just straight removal. And you can't really argue with that. Thallid Omnivore again would be a nice card. Let's just go the Eviscerate. Okay, looking at it here. Call it a third Call the Cavalry. Jeez. Do I go a third Call the Cavalry? Just get some Knights on. China's Torment is an interesting card. I don't think it's great because it does the nightmare it creates. It doesn't have like flying or it doesn't have any way to get around opponents. I think I'm going to go third Call the Cavalry, and we're going all in on these all these Knight tokens possibly. Gift of Growth is handy. Baloth Gorger could be handy. Mammoth Spider could be handy, but I think we're going to Call the Cavalry again. We're going to go 3. Beginner's Reproach again, but I'm going to go that. Alright. So, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this could be very handy. Creature of Land card could be solid fixing, possibly. I'm probably not going to play a colourless land because I'm in 3 colours. I think we're going the Adventurous Impulse just because it's a good way of fixing mana. And also finding us a creature if we need it. Let's go Adventurous Impulse. Alright. I'm worried because I don't think I have enough creatures at the moment. I think I've gone too spell heavy. Like, I think about it, 1 creature, 2 creatures, 3, 4, 5. This creates creatures 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've only got 11 creatures. So I feel like I'm a bit light, very light on creatures, which could be an issue. Thorn Elemental, 7/7 for 7. Not really that interesting. But at the moment, I don't think I've got much of a choice. Soul Salvage. Could get creatures back, possibly, to use again. Let's go Soul Salvage, because I don't think. But I need something on my high end to work towards. Maybe we do go Thorn Elemental. We need creatures. We're going to take a while to get there. But once we get to 7 mana, we could just already have lost. But I do need some high end stuff. Like Mammoth Spot is my most high end at the moment. I'll be able to grab something with this. Something good, hopefully. But I think we just go... I think we go the Thorn Elemental. Oh, no. Do we just go the Rats? Another Sparring Construct, maybe? It does nothing, really. Like, it's not giving us anything. Do I just go the Rats? Let's just go the Rats, I suppose. Alright. So we've got a few more creatures here, which is nice. Sergeant-at-Arms, it's handy, it's flexible. Croson Druid, also 2-3 for 3 in green, 2-3 for 3 in white. It's between these two. I'm probably going to use either creature, mind you. I think I like this kicker more. Gaining 10 life's handy, but maybe putting some more dorks on the board. Let's go to Sergeant-at-Arms. This could be our top end. As much as I did slag it off before, this could definitely be our top end card. We could definitely go with Feral Abomination as our top end card. It's a 5/5 for 5 with Death Touch. Like, can't really argue with that. Let's go with Feral Abomination. We're finding a top end now. We got a 6/6, a 5/5 trample for 6 is handy in any color. It's not as exciting. It's not amazing, but it does the trick. Dredge Sentinel? Jeez, is that what I'm at? I'm at Drudge Sentinel. Hopefully won't play it, but I think it might be Drudge Sentinel. Go there. Chainer's Torment, another rat colony. 2 rat colonies? I could go with 2 rat colonies. A 2/1 for 1. It's okay, possibly. I don't really like Chainer's Torment at all. Like, it gains me a bit of life, but then I lose half my life, and it's pretty expensive too. Let's just go rat colony. I might play rats. Cabal Evangel, you're in. And Skirk Prospector. Alright, so that is the draft. So let's quickly put a deck together before we finish this episode. We don't want Skirk Prospector. Alright, looking through this, what do I not want? Probably not Broken Bond. Probably not Invoke the Divine. Probably not Drudge Sentinel, even though I'm desperate for creatures. I'm not that keen on Drudge Sentinel. Grow from the Ashes is handy. Slimefoot Stowaway, yeah. Forebear's Blade, okay. Scaring Surveyor, yeah. Aven Sentry, probably. 3 Call the Cavalries, pretty happy with that. Dark Bargain, draw a bit. Creature removal. Thallid Omnivore. It's interesting because I can sacrifice creatures. I haven't got a lot of ways to make saplings. The only way I can is with Slimefoot. But it could be handy. Eldritch Reborn, I'm happy with. Winggrace Acolyte, not so sure. So, 21. Oh, sorry, 21. 17. I don't think I want Thorn Elemental. I think 7 is too high. 6 is probably where I want to be at the top of my curve. I've got 2 6 drops, so we might get rid of Thorn Elemental. 47. Do I want... probably don't want the rats. Like, they're creatures, I know, but just 2/1s are not great. 2/2 I can probably deal with. Sergeant-at-Arms is okay. Grow from the Ashes. I like Ramp, especially if I've got a pretty good big high end. It could be handy. It's decent fixing as well. I don't think I want Winggrace Acolyte. 3/2 for flight. Flying's handy, but for 5 mana, it mills 3 cards. I can't really use the 3 cards if they're in the grave. Let's go to that. This is always the hardest part with draft. I'm going to quickly put together... let's have a look. Dub's interesting. Do I think it's worth it? Probably not in this deck. There's no payoff for Knights, so I'm not too bothered. Sergeant-at-Arms is handy to have. Need 3 more cuts. Maybe Dark Bargain. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I don't need Dark Bargain. Let's get rid of Dark Bargain. I could be really wrong there. Eldest Reborn, I'm happy with. Divest. Do I want Divest? I think it's nice early. Something to do something early. Board the Weatherlight could be interesting. I think I've got enough for Board the Weatherlight though. Yeah, I think I've got enough for Board the Weatherlight. 2 left to cut. Let's go with... Let's not use Partic Wanderer. Let's not use Partic Wanderer. Let's do that. My hind is 1 Feral Abomination. It's got Death Touch. I don't know why it needs Death Touch. But 1 card left. Let's drop. Let's drop. I'm not sure. Let's drop the Aven Sentry. Even though it could be handy. Maybe. I'm dropping creatures here, and I really should be dropping spells. Do we go down the 1 Gideon's Reproach, even though that's a handy card to have? Maybe go down Llanowar Scout? But it's decent ramp. I'm not really sure. What I might do is I might leave it there, guys. And for the next episode, when I do the gameplay portion, I'll tell you what I've gone with. But at the moment, this is what I've gone with. I've got 1 more card to cut, and I will cut it eventually. But at the moment, I can't really think, and I probably don't want to be rambling on for too long, even though you've heard me ramble for almost half an hour now. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, guys. It was a bit of fun. It's fun for me to talk about Magic, something I really do love. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you like this video, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, where we will actually play with this deck. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.